I don't know. I think I'm gonna call it. Um, that I've been wrong before. There is a 7-year cycle. You can clearly see it from 2001 to 2008. You had a dot-com crash. How many people had 401ks that took a shit in 2001, and then 7 years later took another shit in 2008? And excuse my French, this is an adult channel. If your little baby ears can't handle swear words, move on. Get the fuck out of here. I don't really have time for you, and I'm not going to censor my speech. I believe in freedom of speech, and if you can't handle words like shit and fuck, you can't handle what I'm about to say because you're about to get fucked. Okay, you're about to get fucked hard. Everything you've worked for since 2008 is gonna be fucking taken away from your little baby slave ass who love your master so much. So just move on. Go away. Go away. Go away. What's gonna happen? Deutsche Bank is Lehman Brothers now. They just came out last month with negative interest rates. Now, okay, I'm going to come out with some pretty heavy words, which really aren't. They're stupid. But this is backwardization in interest rates. Okay, what does backwardization mean? It means it's backwards. It's really that simple. They'll say backwardization, and then you'll be like, oh, it's a banking term. Don't worry about it. It's simple. These guys are little fucking pedophile losers who go around shagging little fucking girls like Jeffrey Epstein, who is a financial advisor, friend of Bill Clinton's, friend of Prince Andrew's. Oh yeah, yeah. I mean, and the pedophilia is why known. It's known. It's known. The police are in on it because the royal family's in on it in England, and the ruling family here, the Bushes and the Clintons, are in on it. Bill Clinton knew Jeffrey Epstein. Bill Clinton is a pedophile. Why was he at his Jeffrey Epstein slave island paradise? I guess if it's a paradise for pedophiles, having sex with underage girls. Although Clinton was never identified, but there was pedophilia on the walls. Okay, enough said. All right. If you go into if I walk into a place and it has child porn, I'm walking out and probably calling the authorities, even though I don't have much faith that they'll do anything, and they're probably in on it too because they don't ever bust anyone for it. Jimmy Savile never got in trouble. Didn't come out until after he was dead. So, and that's when you put your money in the banks and you invest in a 401k, you're giving your money to loser pedophiles. All right, it's right there. It's all with Jeffrey Epstein and his connections, his friendship to Bill Clinton, and as I said, Prince Andrew. It's a royal family. It all stems Jimmy Savile. He was never called a pedophile until after he was dead. So there you have it. These people don't know how to do anything but rip you off and rip you off every time. Now this time they're going to rip you off because the Brexit's very uncomfortable for them. Like I said before in a previous video, they're probably going to hack or fake the election. They have no choice. See, the city of London is the home of globalization, federalization. Okay, the city of London is where all these financial instruments and ideas come from, like derivatives. Is exactly what's killing Deutsche Bank right now. Is the derivatives. Basically, they loaned a bunch of bonds to the pigs, which is Portugal, Italy, Greece, and Spain. Except for these countries are actually diligent paying back, but in a worthless currency. It's worth less. So what their Deutsche Bank has to do is come back to its bondholders and say, "Oh, we got to give you negative interest rates," which is backwardization, which is backwards. See, in the past, cash, no, not in the past, always. Cash in hand is always worth more than a promise in a goddamn future because anything can happen. Anything has, for all argument purposes, you can't argue. Everything has already happened. So a promise in the future is shit. Cash in hand is gold. Look at Katrina. Did you want to have money in the banks if you were in Louisiana or in New Orleans during Katrina? Or did you want to have the $20 bills, which were the highest prized commodity? $100 bills worth too much. We were overpaying for everything. And 5 and 10 and $20 bills is what you wanted. You want to have cash in hand, not a promise in the future. And now Deutsche Bank, because of its bad bets, is going to say, we'll give you less money or negative interest rates on our bonds in the future. But there's even more. The Brexit. I don't know if they're going to pull this off. Deutsche Bank's on its last legs. Okay, they got to come out. And who's gonna buy a bond that promises them less money in the future in a dying currency? In 2012, euro was worth $1.40. Now it's worth $1.14. Imagine that kind of fucking inflation, and it's like all that around the world, everywhere around the world. The lira in Brazil. Look at Venezuela. The system's falling apart. And you know what the best way they're going to blame the average person who doesn't want federalization, who doesn't want globalization, who realizes this is the same old slave free trade, which was never free, nor was it trade, globalization of the British Empire. This is all it ever was, except for now, instead of exploiting countries for their natural resources, they're exploiting labor too, to kill all labor, to destroy the unions, to destroy all working people across the globe. It- this isn't new. Ross Perot said this back in the early 90s. When you trade with a poor nation, you import their poverty and export your wealth. Where are the middle class jobs now? Well, they're in Mexico. Where's the water you can't drink? It's in Flint. Wake the fuck up. God's sake, I've never seen slaves who love their masters more than to give them all their fucking earnings. That's what you're going to do. There's going to be a banking holiday, either before the Brexit or immediately after, to take um, all the sensationalism off the vote. They're going to crash Deutsche Bank. They're going to short their fucking bonds, their stock. Their stock has collapsed. And when that happens, you're in Lehman Brothers time. Because Deutsche Bank, Deutsche Bank isn't stupid. They got out insurance on all their derivatives and all their, their bonds and everything, except for they got it from another place called like AIG, like exactly what happened in 2008, American Investment Group, who sold derivatives that would make your CDOs or uh, collateral debt obligations whole, except for their derivatives. The government has no right to regulate them. So therefore, they were scamming on the books, and they're still scamming on the books because it's never been regulated. And they're going to be belly up. And you're going to have the domino collapse of the banks you had in 2008, except for there's going to be a banking holiday and pull it off just like they did in Greece and Cyprus. They let you take out a couple $100, and then the big people have over $100,000 in their bank accounts. Like my employer, they're going to get haircuts. And then you're going to have to ask yourself, how much faith are these corporations going to have in the government when they steal savings? So that's what I think is going to happen, and it's because of the Brexit, because they want to slap us on the ass for mainly the British, and people like me who sympathize with them, because I wouldn't want to be in the fucking euro. Fuck the euro. Fuck the Germans. We fight 2 wars against them motherfuckers. Why do we want to be on their sides? It's not that complicated, people. But watch, they're gonna do something either before the election or right after the election. It's gonna happen. I don't know. I think it's the 23rd or 28th. I don't know. It's gonna happen pretty soon. So I hope you don't have money in. And you're just a stupid slave. If you still got money in a 401k, you're just a dumb ass fucking slave. They took your money in 2001. They took it again in 2008. They're going to take it again. I guarantee it. Just watch. You start from zero again. Just think if you never put your money there and you just kept it on your own or invested it yourself and then seen stuff like this and said, whoa, I don't want to be in the stock market right now. It doesn't look cool and I'm not good at shorting stuff. I don't want any of that. No. Every 7 years, you give a portion of your savings to not only the banks, who need to be bailed out, but to the damn government too. Your 401ks were shit in 2008, and they were shit in 2001. Don't get mad at me for laughing at you. You're just a moron who can't fucking learn.